Thanks for joining us, America. In the lobby of Financial Peace Plaza right here in Martha's Place is Lauren. Hi, Lauren. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're so excited to have you. Where are you from?
Columbia, South Carolina.
Ooh, that's a bit of a drive to Nashville. What, about 7 hours?
About 7 hours.
Yeah, okay. Very cool. Well, it's good to have you. I assume you're here to do your debt-free scream?
Oh, yes, sir.
I love it. And how much have you paid off?
We've paid off a grand total of $105,000 in 4 years.
Way to go. I love it. Very cool. Making what kind of money during that time?
$75,000.
Wow.
We went from an income of $60,000 to $75,000 during that time.
Very good. Good for you. What kind of debt was the 105?
Mortgage on the house.
You paid off your house?
Paid off the house.
You're not old enough to have a paid-for house. How old are you?
30 years old, Dave.
Oh, my gosh, you're so weird.
I am weird.
I love it.
That's what got us started in the first place, Dave.
So, 4 years ago, you're 26 years old. What happens that makes you believe you can pay off your house? Because everybody knows that you can't get ahead in the American economy. I mean, there's structural problems in the economy. You can't win, and yet you went and paid off your house.
Of course. Well, Dave, it all started back in 2006 when Jay and I first got married. We saw your banner on Winthrop University's campus. He was doing his MBA in business and finance. And it said, "Normal is broke, be weird."
There you go. And
we researched that saying and found out that it was you and your principles behind what we do here. And decided to get on board with your program because we had an overall goal of wanting to live and give like no one else.
There you go. I love that. What a great goal. All right. So 4 years, so $25,000 a year out of a $75,000 or a $60,000 income, depending on which year we look at this. You guys have really watched what you're doing. I mean, you've been on Beans and Rice. I bet people made fun of you.
Dave, we had some lookers there that were really questionable about what we were doing.
Now that the house is paid off and you're only 30 years old, I bet they're believers now.
I think they are.
Yeah,
people
or at
are
least
really excited.
At least that's the ultimate way to give them a shut up. Seriously, I love it.
Live on Beans and Rice. It can
go.
get you a long way.
Well, and now you got the rest of your life with not a payment in the world.
That's right, Dave.
I mean, if you can't build wealth and you can't give in that scenario, something's seriously wrong with you.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations. I'm very proud of you.
Thank
You got to feel great. What do you tell people the secret to getting out of debt is?
The secret to getting out of debt is discipline. You really have to be disciplined in what you're doing, and you have to make a plan.
Are you naturally disciplined?
To begin with, no.
What made you disciplined? Because most people say, I'm not disciplined. When they hear that, they say, I can't do it then. You know, but you became disciplined. How did you do that?
Having a goal really helped me to become disciplined.
There you go.
And also what's been going on for the past 5 years, really. My husband was diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2008, a year and a half into our marriage.
Wow.
And Dave, we were really glad that we started with your principles to begin with that early on in our marriage. We had built up an emergency fund, which was baby step one. We were living with his parents in the basement of their house. And so glad that when that diagnosis came and the medical bills started rolling in, we were able to use that emergency fund to not go into debt medically, and still start saving and putting towards our retirement accounts. And then we really had to sit down and take a look because his diagnosis meant having continuous medical bills for the rest of his life.
Oh, really?
He passed away in April. We really sat down after he got diagnosed and said, well, okay, we have to plan out financially for what's going to happen medically. We just started putting aside money for that type of emergency fund, as well as funding an emergency fund. So planning for a plan, and as well as paying double our house payment during that time as well.
Wow. And so you guys are fighting that fight with him. Meanwhile, he's fighting a fight for you.
Yes.
So that he leaves you debt free.
Mm-hmm. That was his legacy that he wanted to leave. He
And he
wanted to
did.
make sure.
He did. What a wonderful legacy. So when was the house paid off?
August 28th. That was just shy of 4 years before our first house payment.
And just a few months after he passes.
Mm-hmm. Wow. We had made our plan at the beginning of this year to become debt free in June, Dave. And he passed in April. I needed to use some of our emergency fund to take care of funeral expenses. So I had to put that off until August. But
oh my goodness.
We were $11,000 to go before paying off the house when he passed. And August came, and I did it.
There you go.
I did it.
Well, and you and I both know he's watching the whole time.
He is.
And
he
screaming
lives right
debt
here.
and screaming debt free with us right now.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Wow. Wow. How old was he?
30 years old, Dave.
30 years old, same age. Oh my goodness. That is the most heartbreaking and victorious story all at the same time. You're amazing.
Thank
You're
you,
amazing.
Dave.
That's an amazing story.
Thank you.
And you are set for the rest of your life.
I am. I
and,
am.
And my goodness, you do all this before you're 30, you can do anything. There's nothing can stop you. I mean, you
I believe that.
Yeah, I mean that. Whew,
I believe
that much life already lived. Yeah, you're what we call tough now. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you.
God's good, Dave.
He is.
He is so good. His provisions, never fail.
No, they don't.
Never fail.
Absolutely amazing. What was your husband's name?
Jay.
Jay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, Jay and Lauren have paid off their home in August. It's all paid for. I absolutely love it. $105,000 paid off in 4 years, making $75,000 a year by the time she's 30 years old, by the time he's 30 years old. Count it down. Let's hear a great debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Wow. Unbelievable. Everybody's cheering and crying at the same time out there in Martha's Place. Unbelievable. I don't really have anything to say. I can't breathe. You're incredible, Lauren. Absolutely incredible. Wow. All I can say is that if she can do it and they can do it in that situation, you got no excuses. You can sit around and listen to people who say ridiculous things like the economy is structurally flawed and the political system is stacked against you and all these moronic academic viewpoints that are simply not true. Or you can be introduced to Lauren, who believes that her destiny is in her control. And she and her husband, their faith in themselves, their faith in God, their faith in common sense financial principles put them in this situation. That story could have been written a lot of different ways. She could have been a victim. She had a lot of reasons to call herself a victim. You don't get inspiration from that, you don't have a heart in your chest. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.